basically today we're just going to dive straight into it. I'm going to give you 5 top tips on how to get a job as a graphic designer. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another vlog. I'm super excited today to make this video because it's been a long time coming. However, before we begin, if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, please go down below, subscribe to it, give it a like, and then towards the end, go down and comment below as well. It all really helps. If you have been subscribed for a while, you might know in the past I've made videos about being a freelance creative in London, being a graphic designer in London, being a freelance graphic designer in London, all these design videos talking about me and what I do on my day-to-day. That has kind of transitioned quite a lot in the past 2 or 3 years, which I explained in a previous video. However, I just wanted to sit down here and talk about some of the questions and maybe answer a few of the topics that were asked before that I never really touched upon. And basically today we're just going to dive straight into it. I'm going to give you 5 top tips on how to get a job as a graphic designer in London, but this will also apply across the world as well. These things I'm going to tell you about today are pillars that will stand you in good stead to apply for literally any job around the world. Things might differ a little bit, but these are the core things that you need. Also, before we get going, this video is more directed to people that maybe are wanting to start a design career, or they're in college, in school, at university, and looking to apply for their first job. Number 1, we're going to go for a portfolio. I feel like portfolio at the start is super important, especially when you're starting out. Any work you've done, any projects at uni, at school, any side projects that you might have done on your own, put them in your portfolio, show your best work. When you send your portfolio off to potential clients, potential employers, they want to see your best work. They want to see what you're made out of. I would recommend get a PDF version, so a version that can be viewed offline and also a version that can be viewed online. The two marry together very nicely and they go hand in hand. You're wondering, where do you do it online? Well, if this was sponsored by Squarespace, I'll tell you go on Squarespace, but actually there's so many places online that you can go and get your portfolio done. You can learn WordPress, you can go on Wix, there is Squarespace, there is Adobe, there's loads of different places that you can go, and it's all kind of personal preference. I know what I like to use. It's up to you where you want to go. And then you might also ask the question, how do I make it offline? Get InDesign up. You should know how to use it if you want to be a graphic designer, and create a PDF version in there. Also, maybe make it interactive, create some links, so then when someone's looking through it, they can also click through and then maybe go somewhere online, but also jump through different sheets of the PDF. Could be a nice feature. Number 2, it goes hand in hand of number 1, is get a CV. A CV is also quite vital for any job. In fact, not just a job as a graphic designer. That will just show you the history of employment or the history of your education. Anyone looking at your job application, that's probably the first thing they'll look at, a quick glance at the CV and then the portfolio. So definitely get a CV. And I think for me, a printed one is the best option, because sometimes when you're applying for a graphic design job, the way you present your portfolio and actually maybe send your CV along, if the CV is like nicely printed or in a creative way that you posted to them, maybe, or when you meet up with them face to face, it's something nice to give. Number 3, social media, super important in the 21st century. So get online. When I'm saying get online, I'm meaning get on Instagram, get on Twitter, get on Facebook, start posting your work, start showing what you're doing behind the scenes, etc. Them things really matter. I would also consider tidying up your own personal social media. Either put it private or delete all the stuff that you don't want people to see, or you don't want your employers or future employers to see. You know why? When you apply for a job, whoever is in HR or whoever's looking at your application, 100% guarantee you they will look into your social media presence. They will look into what you're posting, what you're saying, and what you're like as a person. And that is very important, because if you've tweeted something or you're posting stuff that's like, this is a bit ropey, you might not get a job interview. You might not get through that stage. Especially when you're applying for your first job, just make sure your social media is on point for the sake of it. You might as well, because if you go into the job, you're going to meet loads of new people. They're all going to be asking for your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, whatever. And you don't want to be embarrassed about what you have. Number 4, which you might not have thought about, but it links 1, 2, and 3 together quite nicely, which is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is key, and also something that people sleep on when they're at uni. I recommend get on LinkedIn, get looking at jobs, get connecting with future employers, employees, people that you want to work with, but also it's a great place to show your CV, to have your portfolio there, and when you're applying for jobs, it's quite straightforward. Honestly, LinkedIn kind of combines the 3 things that you've done already and pushes it in one place where everyone is at when they're getting a job and when you're like properly growing up, right? So get on LinkedIn. It might be tough to learn, it might be weird, but LinkedIn is the social media platform for workplace. So get on there. There's jobs there which you can easily apply for through LinkedIn that might not actually be posted elsewhere and might just be on LinkedIn. So that's where you need to go. Number 5, it kind of ties everything nicely together. Be proactive. When I'm saying be proactive, Tim, what do you mean be proactive? What I mean by that is start applying for jobs a lot, right? Any jobs that you think you might be interested in, just go apply, go through the interview process, go through all the things and chatting with people. The more you do it, the better you'll get. The more interviews you get, the better you'll know what to say, what to do, to see if your portfolio is hitting the spot. If it's not hitting the spot, if there's something that you might need to change in your portfolio, that's where you'll know, by doing more. And don't be afraid to go online and just apply for everything, especially when you're starting out. Just go for it. Don't be scared. It's going to be a hard first step, but when you get your first interview, you'll get this adrenaline going, you'll be pumped, and you'll just apply for loads of different jobs. So be proactive, get on social media, tweet people, chat with people, connect with people, see what people are doing, and just drown yourself amongst that community, amongst them people, because if you do, you never know, someone might then tweet out, oh, we're looking for someone for this job, we're looking for an intern, we're looking for this, we're looking for this, and that company or that person might be the top person hiring at that company, and you've seen it because you've connected them on LinkedIn, you're following them on LinkedIn and their company, you're following them on Twitter. And some companies and some designers do regularly post on their own social medias to talk about the jobs in their agency, studios, in their like creative fields. And yeah, I'm going to keep this short and sweet. That's just 5 tips that I recommend if I was back in university, that someone could push me and say, look, get a portfolio, get a CV, get on social media, get on LinkedIn, and get applying for jobs. And that's essentially what I did, and those are the steps I made. And I actually loved going through that whole process, but it took a while. I knew a lot of people in my degree and my course weren't doing the same things that I was doing, and I was really hungry and I wanted to get a job ASAP out of uni, but I wanted to really get a job that wasn't in my city. I really wanted to move to London. With all that said, if you have any questions, please leave them down below, right? And I will basically try to answer them as best as possible. If there's all these questions that are kind of similar theme, I might just sit down and make another video or add a little sit down section in another vlog, and we'll talk about them and see if we can address them better, because I'm sure a lot of people have questions about this. Even some of my own friends ask me how to get a job, and I'm like, this is what you do. Okay, I think we have one more video to talk about graphic design stuff. I have a list somewhere. I'm just trying to work through the list, but I'll catch you guys soon. I'll see you then.